Federal regulations tell us that prior to the start of dumping operations, and as ground conditions warrant, mine personnel must inspect the dump area for any signs that it might not be able to support the weight of the equipment working there. If you, as a driver, cannot inspect a dump site before dumping a load, make arrangements for someone else to do the inspection for you. The inspection can be done by the dozer or loader operator, a spotter, the foreman, or any other qualified person. Even after the inspection, remember that conditions at the dump site can change rapidly. Make it your safety practice to observe conditions at the dump area each and every time you approach in your vehicle. Let's look at the dump site from the driver's perspective. Your visibility is limited along the right side of your truck. Because of this, you should always approach the dump area from the left. This allows you to look out the left side of your truck where visibility is much better. As you proceed, you can look for cracks or other unsafe conditions in the area where you will be dumping. Cracks or settled areas near the edge of the dump are warning signs of potentially unstable conditions. This indicates the material has moved and the dump site is having trouble holding its own weight. With that in mind, you can understand why there may be difficulty in the ground supporting the additional weight of your truck. If there is any question as to the safety of the dump point, dump back from the edge at least one truck length and have the material pushed over the edge. When dumping over the edge, many drivers continue backing their vehicle until the rear tires contact the berm. If this is how it's done at your mine, you should back up so that the left and right rear tires of your vehicle contact the berm at the same time. However, this is not always possible, and you may have to back toward the edge at an angle. When backing at an angle toward the dump point, be sure to approach at an angle which allows the rear left side tires of your vehicle to contact the berm first. Bumper blocks should be made of a substantial material. Backing into a substantial bumper block at a reasonable speed will give ample indication when the tire comes in contact with the bumper block. But, just as with berms we see along haul roads and at dump sites, most bumper blocks will not prevent a vehicle from traveling over them if they are contacted with excessive speed and force.
While the adequacy of a berm is normally judged based on its height, we need to understand the effectiveness of the berm also depends on its width or thickness and its firmness. While the adequacy of a berm is normally judged based on its height, we need to understand the effectiveness of the berm also depends on its width or thickness and its firmness.
Some people think a berm is built to stop a runaway vehicle from going off the road. This couldn't be further from the truth. It doesn't matter that a berm is constructed from earthen material or large boulders. The purpose of the berm is to show you the edge of the haul road or dump site. Berms are not designed to stop a runaway vehicle.
If a berm is made out of a fine, loosely compacted material, such as sand, gravel, or crushed stone, the larger the berm needs to be because of the weaker construction characteristics. What happens when a tire strikes this type of berm?
To illustrate this, we'll use this toy truck.
The tire penetrates the fine material and begins to compact the material under it. It will continue to penetrate to the point where it will hold the vehicle weight and then start to climb up the berm. Once the tire starts to climb, the tire again penetrates and compacts the material before it starts to climb again. Keep in mind, though, once the tire has penetrated and climbed halfway through the berm, it starts going out the other side, which provides little resistance. The Bureau of Mines also conducted tests to find how large a berm would have to be to stop a runaway truck. They found that a berm would have to be built 3 times the mid-axle height of a truck 85 tons or less. For trucks larger than 85 tons, the minimum height of the berm would have to be 4 times the axle height. For instance, if the mid-axle height of a truck is 6 feet, the berm would have to be 24 feet high, which means the berm would be approximately 48 feet wide at the base.